Welcome back to the Blurb Breakdown with Taylor and Maegan, where we break down and dive into the book blurbs, the good, the bad, and the cringeworthy.
Fair warning, this podcast is rated R for mature content, strong language, and spicy discussions. If you're not ready for swoon-worthy scenes, steam, and unfiltered bookish opinions, proceed with caution. Otherwise, grab a drink and join us.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Blurb Breakdown. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Maegan. Today we are covering The Overtime Kiss by Lauren Blakely. I'm going to drop this blurb and we'll get this party started. Just what every bride dreams of, running straight from her cheating fiancé into the arms of a hot hockey star and then getting hired as his kid's nanny. Tyler Falcon is protective, flirtatious, and frustratingly responsible. We almost did something reckless when he found me alone in my wedding dress and I blurted out all the things I'd never truly experienced. Now, the sexy single dad is saving me again with a job I desperately need and a promise to never mention the night of 1001 Confessions again. I live in his house, take care of his kids, pretend I don't notice his heated gaze lingering on me after they fall asleep. Until one night, the tension snaps. Now we have a deal. 5 lessons in seduction, no strings attached. But he's not just good in bed. He spoils me with thoughtful gifts and supports my dreams. For the first time, I feel like I belong. Except this was never meant to last. I'm his employee. He has kids to protect, and neither of us can afford to make a mistake. The more nights we spend tangled up together, though, the harder it is to pretend it's just physical. Because I'm not only falling for my boss, I'm falling for the man whose kids have stolen my heart. That's the blurb. So grab your drink and join us.
Yay! Okay, I'm just going to start out with, I loved this book from the very, very beginning. I started laughing from the start.
Oh, yeah. God, it was so chaotic in the beginning. I was like, what is going on? But not in a bad way. Like, not bad at all. But she's like, it starts off, she's getting married. She's getting ready. Like, it is the morning of her wedding. And next thing you know, the oversound system is like repeating voicemail. And it's her freaking ex. And we found out he cheated.
Yeah, so he's singing to her foster cat.
Yeah.
And ends up basically saying that the maid of honor was going to be showing up to give him a blowjob.
Yes.
For their wedding.
Right. So, what the hell? And this whole thing was broadcast for the entire wedding. Like, everybody to hear.
Yeah, so Sabrina, our bride, says, you know what, this is the song I'm going to walk down to, which is actually the voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
And her wedding planner, like, freaks out and tries to basically go get it to stop, so stops it. And what does she do?
Sabrina's like, please don't. Let it keep playing.
Let me take this phone out of my bra and let me press play for all to hear the rest of the voicemail.
I loved it. It was so savage. Like, she gave zero shits about anybody or anything. She's like, I'm gonna F up his life today. Because why not?
Better than this.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And then her family.
Right. I was just about to say that. Her parents were totally on his freaking side.
Yes, they allowed Chad, the groom.
Say it with me, Taylor. Fuck Chad.
They allowed him to lie and manipulate and be like, that's not true. She's making it up. That's not what happened. And the dad's like, what are you doing? Get back out there and get married.
Yeah. Her dad pissed me off. Why every romance book do we do? The dad is such a dickwad.
Yeah, like, okay, so you're some big business honcho and you hire Chad and you're like, no, you have to marry my daughter.
Yeah.
And her ice skating doesn't count.
So this maid of honor, she was basically told that the maid of honor that Chad cheated with had to be her maid of honor. And she works for her
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, like, isn't it her dad's, like, assistant or something of the
Yeah.
sort? Something like
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
Mm.
What the heck? But she didn't care, and she worked for her dad. And so when all of this happened, he ended up actually firing her.
Yes, he basically was like, you either go get married or you're out of the company.
Just so effed up.
Yeah.
God.
And basically tells her, so she teaches ice skating,
Yes.
and
I
he doesn't
love
believe
that.
that's a real job.
If you're making money, it's a job, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. It's consistent. She's teaching kids. Yes, it is a job.
and it's something she loves.
Yeah. So she basically is like, you know what? Screw you guys. She leaves to go get drunk
Yeah, she does. In her wedding dress.
in her wedding dress, and she tries to check into a hotel, and the hotel is booked. So she has no idea where she's going. So she just kind of stumbles in to the bar.
Right. And that is when we meet Tyler Falcon, our male main
Yes.
character.
Yes.
And he he's a hockey player. I love that.
Yes. So they actually know each other.
Yes. Yeah.
We find out, like, because we get a dual point of view, which I love.
Love it.
So from his point of view, we find out that he's actually been attracted to her for a while. Like, she is his kid's ice skating teacher.
Yes, little Luna. She was so cute. I loved her.
I know, it was adorable.
And then he also met her and started to get the hots for her
Yes.
when she performed in one of their hockey games during the intermission.
Yes. Yes.
And I remember that being a big thing throughout the book because it was the last picture that he had posted on his social media, a picture of him and her during that intermission. And then you find out from his mom, which I love his mother. She was so funny.
She was fun.
But you find out from his mom and I think his sister that he was obsessed with figure skaters like since he was a teenager.
Yes. Yes. And they could tell from the photo. They all said that they could tell that he was attracted to her, but she was obviously not single at the time.
Right. She was engaged to fuck Chad.
Yes. So this is the night of the 1001 confessions. So one of them is... Oh, sorry, go for it.
I was just going to say, she tells him all of her like sexual fantasies that she has not experienced yet.
Yeah, she basically compares Chad to a Saint Bernard.
Yes.
Like a sloppy dog. And she basically wants someone better.
Yeah.
Than that. She wants someone to take her good sex virginity.
That is one thing I love about Lauren is that she puts so much comedy in these books.
I love it.
Like, who is going to compare oral to a sloppy dog?
I don't know. I have not had that problem. If you've had that problem, please feel free to open us. Please hit us up in the comments or even our DMs. We would love to hear about your stories, your horror stories. Let's talk about it. Let's laugh about it.
Oh, I would love to do a segment like that. Yeah. Where people just send us their confessions and we keep them anonymous and just talk about it.
Start sending them. We get enough. Please. We'll start an episode.
Please. Oh my goodness.
If we get enough, we can do an episode, guys. And you can tell us if you'd like to stay anonymous or if you'd like us to drop your handle.
There you go. We're down for it.
Yes.
Yeah, so she tells him everything that I think she basically tells him that she's a virgin because Chad was so bad. Yeah. Like I said, good sex virgin. Yes.
He hasn't had any. And like so many confessions, basically like to the point where she's like, I don't even know where I'm staying tonight. And I don't want to go here and I don't want to go there.
Yeah, and he ends up taking her back up to his room. and
Mm-hmm.
things were starting to get heated. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that she was too drunk and like passed out.
Yes, like he said he would be right back. And
I think he was going to get condoms.
yes, he was. And then we go to the morning after because we find
Yes.
out that Sabrina passed out. By
Yes.
the time before he could even get back to the room, she knocked.
She wakes up and she's still got her wedding dress on. And, you know, in
I
every
love it. This is a perfect picture. I could just laugh.
and in every single movie that you watch, when the girl thinks that she hooked up, they look and see if their underwear's still on. And that is so funny to me. Her underwear was still on, okay?
Yeah.
And sitting on the chair in the room was a Falcons hoodie, a pair of
Yes.
black leggings, which is also a theme throughout the book because he's always
Yeah.
bringing her one of his team hoodies and a freaking pair of black leggings and a note that basically
Yeah.
said nothing happened. Like,
Yes.
which I thought was so cute because that is such a gentlemanly
Yes.
thing to do.
Oh my gosh, yes. And a knock on the door.
Mm.
He takes care of breakfast. He has breakfast
Yes.
delivered.
Yes,
and
he
said
did.
if she didn't answer because she was still sleeping, to please leave it outside the door.
Yeah. That
I
was
was
so
like,
sweet.
oh, seriously.
I love him.
Yes, like right off the bat, he was a lovable main character.
Yes.
I was like, hi, take me home.
I absolutely agree. And so she leaves, and I guess they're both nervous to see each other again because she's now scheduled for like 2 days from now, I think, to train with his daughter.
Yes.
And I remember this scene was from his point of view, but she doesn't come over and say hi to him like she normally does. And so he was freaking out. He's like, do I say something? What do I do? And so after the training with Luna, he sends her, sweet little girl, to go play in the arcade.
Yes.
And he's like, hey, can we talk for a minute? And she's like, yeah. And she gives him back his sweater, his hoodie.
So he was actually planning to ask her out. And when she was talking to him, he was like, okay, maybe they're, she's interested as well.
Mm-hmm.
Until that hoodie came back, and he's like, everybody knows when you give the hoodie back.
Right. Game over.
Yeah, so at that point he was like, well, maybe she's not interested. Shouldn't mix it up.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're not gonna talk about it and forget it ever happened.
Right. So then we have a little bit of Sabrina doing some like odd and end jobs because now she doesn't have anywhere to live. Didn't have anywhere to live, so she had to pick up more jobs because she lost her job.
Yeah.
And she is a mascot for a local, I think it was a baseball team.
Yeah.
Which I thought was so funny because she was like out on the field and then it gave her point of view like running inside, like snatching the mascot head off because she was like dying of heat exhaustion.
I can only imagine. Ugh.
And then shortly after that, like not very long after that, Tyler is doing, I think he's out of town or something. And so his mom took Luna to her practice.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, I found somebody to solve your nanny issue. And so mom is in the picture. The kid's mom is in the picture. I feel like I should say that. She's in medical school. So right now, Tyler has majority of time sharing with the children.
Mm-hmm.
But mom is still involved and whatnot. So don't worry about that. I feel like we should have said that. He is a single dad, but mom is still in the picture for the kids. So he is needing a nanny because while mom is in a completely different city doing medical school, he's also traveling because he's on a hockey team. And a lot of times with hockey teams, they are out. I don't watch a ton of hockey. I know this from reading, but they're out of town for several days because they have like a series like similar to baseball where they play 3 games with a team or whatever. So they'll be out of town for a while. So he needs a nanny because mom's getting a little up there and she can't be taking care of the kids all the time. So mom suggests Sabrina after taking Luna to the
Yeah.
practice. And
Yeah.
Sabrina was very hesitant at first,
Yep.
but his mom offered Sabrina enough money that she's like, well, I can't say no.
Yep.
And a place to live. She would be living in
Yes.
his like guest house. So
Right.
I think it's actually his basement.
Yeah, like the downstairs basement seems
Yeah.
like they set it up like living quarters.
Yeah, with the private entrance, I think you said.
Okay. So yeah, so Sabrina does end up taking the nanny position,
Mhm.
and so she has to move in, and there is a lot of tension
Oh
between
yeah,
Tyler and Sabrina, and it's fantastic.
it
I
is.
literally wrote loving this. They both have the hots for each other.
Yeah, and they're trying so hard to avoid each other. Not
Yeah.
like avoid each other, but like trying not to cross that line.
Yeah. But at one point Sabrina says, keep thinking about your beard. So I wrote that down. Uh but she does end up, so Parker, one of Tyler's son,
Mhm.
is a little more closed off with Sabrina because he really seems to miss the previous nanny.
Yes.
He's just comparing all the things to the previous nanny.
Yeah, the poor gummy bears. He was very upset about the gummy bears. Um, and it
Yes.
all started when she went to pick them up from school that day because
Mm-hmm.
she didn't know where to pick them up, if they would
Oh yes.
find her. And so she pays to park somewhere down the road. And the kid, Parker, mostly was
Yes.
embarrassed. And
Yeah, because
he's
she actually
like,
goes into the school.
yes. And he's like, parents don't come into the school.
Yeah.
And he was very embarrassed. Luna was so sweet. I love her.
She
She's like,
was.
it's okay. Just next time you can just get in line. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. Luna's putting us on the straight and narrow, and Parker's just being a little jerk.
I
But
loved Luna. She's
me
so
too.
cute.
I understand why Parker was so upset though, because he was missing the
Yeah.
other nanny. And like you said, he was comparing her a lot to her.
And it's hard
And
for kids.
it is, especially since she was with them for so long.
Yeah, and they built that
And
relationship.
right. She knows how everything goes. So it's just growing pains, just
Yes,
somebody
yes.
new. But
Yeah.
Sabrina does get him the gummy bears and she's like, we're going to talk to your dad.
She navigates it so well. She handled that situation with Parker and like warming up to him and like getting to understand what he was into
Mhm.
and taking it little step by step. She did fantastic. Like
Yes.
right off the bat with him. Like she even like takes him, like she finds out that he's like super into science. Like
Yes.
in stars, and yes, we'll clarify, whether it's a meteor or star. Like he is that knowledgeable.
Mhm. Yeah, he's a
That
super smart kid. So,
yes,
did they tell us in the book who was older? Is it Luna or Parker? Because I felt like
I
Parker
don't
was older, but I don't.
I don't feel like I don't recall them clarifying.
Yeah, me either. Okay. Hell, they might be twins.
Yeah, I honestly have zero idea. I don't even know how old they are. I feel like we didn't get their age.
I don't know that we did either. Tyler ended up buying Sabrina some sheets for her bed. And
Yeah.
I thought that was so cute because he like didn't want any like attention for it. He literally just left them by the door, by her bedroom
Yeah,
door.
he was just trying to make sure she was all good, everything was all situated for her, and she was comfortable. And
Yes.
it was really sweet because she was like, "Oh, I bought those," but it was just so adorable.
He does that for her quite a few things because he also bought her like a bunch of yoga stuff and helped
Yeah.
her build some shelf for her candles, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And like he really just was taking care of her, and that was something she didn't get with Chad.
No, I honestly, Lauren did a really great job with this book. I really liked how we didn't have any like major drama between the two. It was more the back and forth and there was a little bit of the miscommunication, which in the sense of it's more like they just didn't open up to their feelings,
Yes.
but it was because they were putting the kids first.
Right. They were trying to keep that line very prominent.
Yeah, so books that do this, that usually end up having some stupid ass reason, tend to irritate me through it. Yes, writers, you can redeem yourself by the ending for me. I'm an emotional reader. But sometimes when it's like not the kids involved or some stupid reason, I'm just like, really?
Right. This could have been resolved with a text message or a, hey, this is what's going on.
Yeah,
And they
just
just
say it.
don't, right. I don't
Yeah.
understand that because in real life, at least me anyway, I'm going to be like, no, let's figure this out.
Yeah.
Like, we're not doing this, oh, I don't know, bullshit. We're not. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah. Oh, maybe he does it because he did this, or maybe she does it because she said this. And it's like, oh my God, just say it. But again, we did have their internal thoughts, so both were concerned about the kids and what would
Yes.
happen if anything went wrong.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Um, and Halloween comes around and I loved this scene. Okay. And I think Tyler was just coming home from being out on the road, I think. And
Mm-hmm.
Luna comes out and she is in one of Sabrina's old costumes that she wore for one of her shows.
Yeah, she used to make them.
Yeah, she like brought it in for her so it fit perfect. And then
Yeah,
Sabrina came out and Sabrina matched her.
it was so
She
cute.
she even went as far as to put like I think it was like gray or silver around her little shoes to represent like ice skates. And
Yeah.
it's just the little things. And I think that was the moment that Tyler was like, I really like her.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes, and I love that. Like, I know you touched on the parent or the kids' mom
mhm.
earlier. Yes, she's still in the picture. Well, we actually find out like they actually split just because they just didn't work. They are actually still friends. So she was actually really
Yes.
encouraging of Sabrina.
Yeah.
There was not this drama. Oh, I don't want her near my kids, or oh, I'm the mom. Like I said, this story was just so like rom-commy. It was just happy and
I
fun.
I think Sabrina got the feeling that there was going to be tension
Yes.
with the
Yes.
mom because there was
Yes.
this scene later on in the book where Sabrina had on one of Tyler's hoodies
Mm.
because um he had a heart on and he was like, I can't answer the door right now. And so
Yes.
Sabrina was like, I will get it. But she grabbed his jersey instead of, or his sweater instead of her own. And
Yeah.
so Elle, which is the mom,
Yes.
she
Yes.
noticed it, but didn't say anything. Like the whole
Mm-mm.
conversation was completely centered around the kids. And
Yeah.
then I also texted Tyler about Christmas, if you could just have him text me back. And it
Yeah.
was not any animosity or
Mm-mm.
jealousy, but Sabrina definitely had those feelings. And she voiced that she was concerned about what the mom was going to think.
Yes. 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 For sure. But I'm just glad that like there really wasn't that.
No. And the mom was like, we didn't get a lot of the mom either.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
So that was nice because like I'm trying to enjoy this romance. We don't need mom. You know what I mean?
No,
Like
and
when
it
it
was
pertains to
great.
the kids.
Well, and it worked out like more of how I feel like a lot of situations work in real life. So Elle comes
Hmm.
to pick up Parker and Luna, and they go for their weekend with mom.
Yeah.
And so this is now Parker's weekend without the
Hmm.
kids because, like you
Right.
said, Parker has the kids the majority of the time. So he's got the full week, the weekend, and then the other weekend's mom.
Hmm.
Well, this is where they start their sex diary fun.
Yeah. So she got her sex diary from her girlfriend. And what was the
Mm-hmm.
guy's name? Her best friend.
Tre- not Trevin. Traven.
Is it
Trevin.
Trevin?
Maybe.
I
I
think
think
it
so.
is. I
Okay.
think it might be.
I think
We'll go
so.
with that. But yeah, they give her a sex diary talking about write down everything you want to do.
Yeah.
And so she does. She
She is
does.
not shy about it.
No.
I actually really love because I am not that person. I really love how open she was about all of what she wants.
I understand why she wasn't shy about it because she was with Chad for so long and she
Mm-hmm.
was not able to voice these
Yeah.
fantasies that she has.
Yeah.
So Tyler's actually at the freaking grocery store with his sister, gets a text from Sabrina saying, "Hey, can you pick up some popsicles?" I'm like, "Oh, the kids want
Yes.
popsicles." And he's like, "What flavor?" And she says, "Cherry." He's
Yeah.
like, "Cool, whatever." So turns out the popsicles are not for the children. And she tells him that she got them to practice giving blowjobs. Well, come to find out, so she opens a popsicle and Tyler's walking her through it, talking her through how to give a blowjob on the popsicle. I'm
Yep.
already like, okay. So then girlfriend just starts going at it on him all of a sudden. And come to find out, half the box of popsicles is already gone. She's
been
practicing, and it was so hot. Okay.
Okay, Maegan. And what does he tell her when she's doing this?
He calls her a good girl.
Okay, all you ladies, we know. We know you like it.
It is always hot when a guy drops that. Just, I don't give up what you're doing. If you drop a good girl, a bitch might just drop to her knees. Okay.
So we have a message on Hinge chat with about like there's 7 of us, and instantly when he said that, I screenshotted and sent our group this book and said, when this book comes out, which
read it.
Yes, you need to read it. And I said he just called her a good girl. I was like, all my girls are gonna be like, yes, I'll go add it to my TBR.
We love a good girl moment. Just like I said, I don't care. You could have washed the dish, and if he comes up and whispers "good girl" in your ears, honey, you better drop to your knees and show him how much of a good girl you are. Taylor, you're getting red.
I know. That's what happens
Listen,
when I didn't put makeup on today. Shit.
Lauren could write the hell out of a scene.
This book was so great. I even wrote like they talk about like Fast and the Furious fuck.
I know that if I get an email from Hambright PR, shout out, about Lauren dropping a book,
sign us up.
There's no doubt in my mind. And I always ask for the audio, literally for these moments when they drop a good girl. Okay. Moving on, because that was the first hot moment, and this book was full of them. Okay.
Oh man. Yeah, because like I was gonna say though, he was actually out shopping with his sister because he asked his sister for advice to shop for vegetarians.
Yeah. Because Sabrina is one, and so is Luna.
Yes. So he tried to play it off of for Luna, but obviously we knew it was for Sabrina. So he was trying to get advice. Like, do you buy like tofurkey?
Yeah.
Or in all these other alternative meat options.
Yes. And his sister was like, no. When you're vegetarian, these holidays are all about the side dishes.
And let's be real. I mean, I personally am not a vegetarian, so I do usually have a turkey. But let's be real here. Everybody loves the sides.
Right.
Mashed potatoes,
a
gravy.
little piece of turkey, and then you're filling up your plate with literally everything else.
Yes. And yes, I wrote sides in all caps because, yum, we love food.
And then it was funny because on Thanksgiving, so Tyler's brother's also on the team.
Yes.
At Thanksgiving, which Tyler's family all came over. Sabrina spent Thanksgiving with them, which I thought was so sweet because her parents are assholes. But he was making a mushroom risotto, which I've never had, but sounds delicious because I love mushrooms. But Tyler went to make it, and his brother's like, no, you need to make it at the end. Other things are fine, heated up. Risotto is not. And so the brother knew what was going on, and he knew that his brother was he knew that Tyler was trying to impress Sabrina. So he's like, let's not fuck this up, okay?
I really do like how throughout the book, it's not like overly done or anything. But we do get a few of the locker room moments with a couple
Yes.
of the teammates, and they all know he likes Sabrina, and they
Yes.
give him a little bit of shit and a little bit of a hard time because it's like, hello, dude, come on.
I love the sweet little in any hockey or in any sports romance, those little snippets of the locker room that you get, just guys being
Yes,
freaking guys.
we love the
Like
banter.
I have literally asked my husband, I'm like, are guys really like this? And he's like, yeah.
Oh my
It's so
gosh.
cute. Guys are just big kids. I love it.
Yeah. Sometimes.
We love it in books, not in real
Yeah.
life.
Yes. We like it. We like it. All
Oh
right.
man.
So Tyler's mom actually tries to get Sabrina to start dating.
Yeah.
She's like encouraging her to start dating.
And she thinks Tyler's holding her back. Which is so cute because Sabrina's like, oh yeah, like I'll start dating. And the mom's like, great. And then
Yeah.
was it at Thanksgiving? I think it was at Thanksgiving that she kept
Yes.
asking Sabrina.
Yes, to the point where Tyler actually pulls his mom aside on Thanksgiving and tells his mom that he has had it bad for her for a while. And in
Yes.
other words, stop doing this.
You're killing me, literally, every time you ask her if she's dating, because if she says yes, I'm going to lose my fucking shit.
Yes.
Because they're not exclusive, really. Like, that conversation has not been had yet. So, I'm like, if.
They've decided that as of right now that they're not dating.
Right. Right.
And
They're not putting a label on anything. They're literally
mm-mm.
doing lessons. And that is that.
Yes, and so that kind of leads into where she still doesn't ever get talked to about the Christmas situation.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this is the moment where Sabrina starts questioning her position within the family because she knows that she's supposed to be the nanny,
Mm-hmm.
but she feels very incorporated into the family,
Yes.
but then doesn't get told anything about Christmas. And this would actually be the first Christmas that she's away from, her asshole parents and
Mm-hmm.
fuck Chad.
Yes.
So she's
Yeah,
kind of feeling down.
this all came about when I was talking about when Elle dropped the kids' backpacks off after a
Mm-hmm.
weekend and was like, hey, have Tyler text me about Christmas.
Yeah, slowly
And
started having those doubts.
something came up about I will do an unaccompanied minor ticket for the kids and this, that, and the other.
Yes.
And when you get Tyler's point of view, he was basically like, fuck, I didn't even think to ask.
Yeah.
And I know it hurt him too, but yeah, she was very confused about where she stood because she's
Mm-hmm.
starting to have feelings for Tyler. She loves
Yes.
these kids. Is she going to stay home? And it was so bad because she asked him about Christmas, like, do you need me? Whatever. And he's like, oh no, I'll be in New York and I'll have the kids with me. And she's like, oh, so I'll get a few days off then. And Tyler flubbed
Yeah.
it up because that should have been his opportunity to be like, I'd really like for you to come.
Yes.
And
See,
he's
this
like,
where the miscommunication piece that I
right.
talked about is
And
happening.
he's basically like, oh, I guess, yeah, you will have a couple days off. And I'm like, fucking Tyler.
Yeah, so she's sitting there waiting for Tyler to be like, is he going to invite me? And Tyler's like, oh crap, sounds like she wants this time off.
Yeah.
And so now she doesn't know what she's planning on doing. So she, talks to her friends, like Trevin and I can't remember some of the other ones, but she ends up talking to a couple of her friends while the hockey boys are talking to Tyler and they're like, hello, invite her to Christmas.
Right.
This is
Not
Miles.
as your nanny.
Yes. As a friend, or a little more.
Right.
And this is actually Miles and Rowan. I will say I personally have not read all of the Love and Hockey series. I've read just one other one so far. They are on my list. They are coming. But I do know some of these guys on the hockey team have their own books.
Yes.
So we actually do get Miles and Rowan earlier. I think Wes is brought up at one point in this. They just mentioned Wes. So Wesley has his book too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yes, I do plan on reading them all. So I'm just letting you guys know that if you love this book, go read it. If you've already read some of them and you love them, obviously read this one.
Yeah. I started in the middle of the series. I started with
The
the boyfriend.
girlfriend.
No, the boyfriend goal, I think. And then the
I think
girlfriend zone. Is it the
okay,
boyfriend
okay.
zone?
I did
Oh,
the boyfriend goal, which
I did the
is
boyfriend goal and then the girlfriend zone.
yes, and I
And then
absolutely
this one.
loved the boyfriend goal to the point where I plan on reading them all.
Yes. So I started with the first one and then read the fourth and the fifth and completely skipped the second and third. Lauren, I'm
I
so
didn't.
sorry. I'll
I
get those
didn't even
done.
realize that was my bad too. I didn't realize there were interconnected series. My bad. Um, like Megan said, Handbright we got the email and I was like, oh, Lauren, gotta sign up. And then we were like, oh my god, we need to do a
I
podcast episode.
I think you actually saw it before I did, and you screenshot it and sent it to me, and you're
I
like, "Go
did.
sign up." And I was literally going into my email as your message came through to see if I had anything,
Yeah.
and I was like, "I'm already doing it."
Yes. Yeah, because this is actually that was my first like I just recently became a Handbright influencer, side note. And so this was my first book I've
Yay!
done through them. And so yeah, I was really excited.
I love working with Ambright.
Yes, it's really great, and I'm just loving this book. So and loving Lauren and like all the options that we get. Okay, so the guys tell him to invite to Christmas,
Yes.
and so we're not to Christmas yet. We actually find out that while Tyler is at a game away, we get what we call the nurse kitty. I wrote nurse kitty. So they actually he ends up having her adopt a new cat because we know that Sabrina was fostering
Yeah.
cat. So they actually end up fostering the cat, and she gets the call. Sabrina gets a call from the school that Parker has the flu.
Yes.
And so they call it, like Nurse Kitty. So we got the little foster kitty helping take care of them, and
Yeah.
she's just really taking care of Parker, and she definitely takes care of Luna, and it was just so sweet because he's obviously like panicking.
Right. Your kid's sick, like really sick,
Yeah.
and you're away. Like you can't. And even in a situation like this, like that's his job. He has to be there.
Yeah.
He couldn't just leave. Like unless your
Right.
kid was dying, you can't just leave and
Mm-hmm.
leave your team. So Luna was so funny giving her dad a play-by-play from upstairs because she's not coming down.
No, she secluded herself in her bedroom. She said, I am not going near you guys.
Right.
Stay away.
So he finally gets home and Luna's fine. Parker's good. And they're leaving with his mom. And he's like, what the
mom
heck?
is picking him up. Yep.
And she's like, I'm going to take the kids to school tomorrow. Sabrina is very sick now.
Yep. Sabrina caught
So
flu. Mm-hmm.
He took such good care of her.
Oh, I loved it.
Oh, me too.
God. Because she was like, no, you don't want to come in here. Stay away.
Yeah.
And he didn't give a crap. He's like, I'm going to take care of you.
He carries her from her room up to his room.
Yeah, makes
takes
it easier.
care of her, helps her go to the bathroom. She finally gets up the next morning. There's a note there saying, like, I'm just taking care of the cat. I didn't leave you. So she showers.
Yeah.
And there's another hoodie, Falcon hoodie, and a black pair of leggings. So he went down to her room and got her some clothes. Ugh, I love him.
I know, it was so adorable.
So they finally do go on Christmas and things are good. The kids do something that apparently the parents didn't have to be there for. And they have another little lesson in the hotel room. He's like watching the clock. I'm like, that can't be fun. But been there, done that. Been there, done that. And they had a really nice vacation with the kids.
Yes, it was
So
adorable. Oh.
they come home, and all of a sudden the kids have put like a freaking presentation
Oh
together.
yes. Yes.
And Luna or Sabrina's standing there, and when Tyler gets home, they bust out with the presentation talking about, we think you guys should get married.
Yeah, right off the bat, and here's why.
It was so funny. Sabrina shut down a little bit because she doesn't really know where they are, like
Yeah.
what they're doing really.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they thought they were hiding it from the kids. Apparently, they are not.
Yeah,
And
that's been a
even
lot of it too. Is they've been so worried about the kids.
right, hiding it from them. And little Parker is on board. Like, he was so hesitant with Sabrina in the beginning, and now
Yeah,
he's
it's
like,
so
"Yeah,
cute.
get married." Um,
I know. Oh.
but Sabrina disappearing during this conversation really made Tyler question everything also, and so he put
Yeah.
everything on pause. He's like, I
I
don't know where we
know.
stand." And that's again is a miscommunication because like,
Yeah.
talk about it. Just talk
Yes.
about it.
Yeah, that part
So,
got really frustrating. So that, yeah, that is a little bit of the distancing. So now they're distancing themselves.
yes. That was
Like,
sad. I didn't like that.
yeah, Sabrina's just like full on nanny focus.
So then
Mm-hmm.
Tyler's got to win her back. I
Yes.
love a grand gesture. Okay.
Yes.
So they are doing tours. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why the opposing team was doing tours at another person's, um, or maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
I'm not sure on that one.
So they were at the arena, and
Mm-hmm.
the guys give tours like every 15 minutes to like VIP guests or whatever. And Tyler just so happens to glance at the list and sees Fuck Chad and
Oh yes.
Sabrina's dad.
Mm.
And they were not on his tour time. So he
Yes.
trades, I think, with his brother. I think he traded with his brother.
Yeah.
But he gets the tour that Fuck Chad and Dad are on, which Dad knows about Sabrina and Tyler, that
Mm-hmm.
she's living with him, because he had showed up, I think, shortly after Christmas or right before,
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, I texted you about this report," and she emails it to him, and he's like, "Oh, you're just playing house with this boy.
Yeah.
Like, pull your head out of your ass. You need to come back to Chad," which,
And
again,
put so many more
you.
doubts. Yeah, and put so many more doubts in her mind. Like all of this was
Right.
just piling on. I
So
will say the
this,
grand gesture. I just wanted to put this out. Is Tyler does come to the realization and understands that what Sabrina was doing when she went full on work mode
mhm,
was her way of just like focus on work and don't think about everything else. Like it
right.
kind of like clicked in his head. Oh shit, something's wrong.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's most women. So at least me, I'm like that.
Yeah.
When I get upset, I'm like fully focused on one thing and one thing only.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she ends up telling Tyler about her dad coming over, and that's why when he saw them on the list, he's like, "I'm going to take their tour."
Mm-hmm.
So Tyler tells Fuck Chad and Dad about their mistreating of Sabrina, and
Yeah.
they're both of them are basically like, "We're VIP guests. You can't talk to us like that." And Tyler's like, "Watch me. I will." And
Yes.
he timed it perfectly so that Sabrina would be walking out to hear the whole thing.
Yes, he
And
did.
Sabrina comes out and listen, here's the whole thing, and then she tells
Mm-hmm.
them that they need to leave, that they need
Yes.
to go. And I was like, good for him for standing up for her, and good for her for standing up for herself.
Yes, I loved it.
And
Loved it.
I wrote swoon because it
Oh,
was so swoony.
I loved it.
I love him. So she was there because she was doing an intermission show for them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she does her show, which of course Tyler sneaks out of the locker room to watch because he's obsessed. And he actually threw roses out onto the ice for her, which, in the
I
ice skating
know.
world is a big thing, like stuffed animals, flowers. At
Yeah.
the end, it's a big thing. So I thought that was so cute.
I did too. I just completely loved the story. I loved Tyler. I love how Sabrina was very strong and, like you said, like even from the beginning has stood up for
Yeah.
herself.
Yes.
And it was just really enjoyable. And I will say, like, we didn't touch quite on this earlier. I'll just put it out there because, going back on the, Tyler brought out flowers. We do
Yeah.
know that she did earlier catch Tyler jacking off to some of her skating videos, and she realized it was to her skating video because it was around the time that she walked upstairs and caught him within the same time frame that he ended up liking the video.
Yeah.
And he doesn't usually get on all that stuff. So she was like, oh my God, was he?
So when she realizes it and says something to him, he's like, yeah, I was watching your videos, not realizing that he had liked it on her social media.
Yeah,
He was
so
like,
yeah, there was like that moment where she doesn't actually clarify that she knows. He's
but
just like, yeah, I was watching.
That was a big thing through the book, though. Like, I think it was mentioned 2 other times. Like,
Oh yeah, yes.
always, if you hear me, just come in.
He's like, you could have just walked in.
Right.
I loved it.
And he paused the video because he thought he heard her.
Thought yes. Yes. And so later on in the book, towards the end, he realizes that night that did happen.
Right. And yeah, several times did he do that because he confessed to it later then.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. If you were in her situation, would you have opened the door? Would you have listened? What would you have done?
I would not have opened the door. I probably would have done what she did and snuck the fuck away.
I think at that point in the relationship, I probably would have done the same because they hadn't really crossed that line yet.
They hadn't defined a relationship.
Now, granted, if they had been involved already, let me open the door, come right on in.
I mean, like, if I was, like, let's say with my husband, I'd probably, what the fuck are you doing? I would just do something that just threw him off guard because I am that person.
Yeah.
I just would want to, like, scare him or something.
That's funny. Yeah, I loved this book so much. It was perfect combination of funny and romance, and I always love Lauren's books, so that's like not even a question.
Yeah, and it's not like cringe. It's not gross. It was just so good. It was so good, and it's such a good balance. Lauren does balance the spice and the romance.
Yes,
in like the plot very, very well.
Yes, it's not overdone because sometimes you do have these authors. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sometimes you do have these authors that I think just, this sounds bad, that just want to be loved so much and they know that sex sells. And so that's all they put into their books. And it becomes very overwhelming, even for somebody who loves reading smut. I very much need a deep plot line. Like, I need the sex to not seem forced and the spicy scenes to not feel like they don't belong. And Lauren she does a really, really great job.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we've both read a few of her books before. And I personally have not had an issue with any of them. I've actually loved all of them and will happily continue to read them. I hope, Lauren, if you watch this, that you love this and you love our reaction.
Yes.
If not, that's fine too. I hope whoever's watching absolutely loves this. But shout out to Lauren. That would be great.
Yes.
You know, we just loved your book and we loved the opportunity to be able to read a little early. And
yes,
we are excited for it to release.
Thank you to Lauren and also Handbrake PR for allowing us to get this audio because so worth it. And we love to be able to get early copies of books to be able to do them on our podcast to release them soon after.
Yeah, like
The book
release week.
releases.
Yeah, we like release weeks.
Yes. So thank you. This was such a good book. I loved it. I
And I
loved
loved reading
it.
it with you. I have so much fun when we like get our little buddy reads and we share
Oh
reactions.
yes.
It's so much fun, and then we get
Blowing
to
up
talk
each
about
other's
it.
phone. I
It's
love
so
it.
good.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, blurbers. Well, thanks for tuning in.
Yes. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good day.
Bye.